no estar como, ay, ¿quién? Tú.
¿Le
sigo yo, Pablo, o quieres?
Tú.
Bueno, listo, yo.
Dale, Laura, sí. A mí me da miedo.
So Adelaide, ça va? So we will be starting soon. The idea is then like just as you already know that like this is not like a workshop at all. It is mainly like some sort of conversation, and we would like mainly that you can like share your knowledge about climate movements, and as well share with us a bit more about your background, how this started, Youth for Climate, everything, your experience as well when you crossed the Atlantic with Sail to the COP and all these things. And of course, I've been thought that you as well went to the Amazon rainforest. It will be also interesting as you can tell, if you can tell us about your experience there, what kind of cultural differences you have noticed, and all these kind of things. And we would as well be, of course, immersed in the conversation, like speaking more about the Latin American movement. And yeah, so
nice.
We will be as well receiving some questions. And the idea is as well, like you can just like start, well, we start with the basic question, and then you can just like feel free to start like developing other topics if you consider it's important to talk about them, even though we don't have questions for it. Okay,
no problem. Sounds good. Sounds
perfect. So yeah, we'll just wait for a minute. I think ¿cuánto tiempo usualmente esperamos nosotros? ¿Qué? Esperamos hasta las 10 y 15.
Como 5 minutos, Pablo.
Hasta las 10, yo creería, hasta las 10.
Sí, 5 minutos está bien.
Yo empecé transmisión por YouTube.
Listo.
Hasta las 10.
Yo también por Instagram.
Esperemos hasta las 10. Bueno. Esperemos hasta las 10.
Pero entonces, ¿corto la transmisión o la dejo ahí?
No,
bueno.
No.
Bueno.
Pues, o sea...
Entonces la gente pues se conectará a la 1, tal vez.
Sí, bueno, no sé.
Pues mientras tanto podemos hablar, o sea, no comenzarla oficialmente, sino hablar, ¿no?
Claro. No, pues igual, no, pues sí, entonces comencemos a las 5 porque hay quórum suficiente, yo creería. Sí, a las 5. So, we're starting in 5 minutes, okay?
Perfect.
I'm excited.
Pum, 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 yeah.
It's nice, and you invite people from like to come and listen to your live, but also be part of the Zoom call.
That's
yeah.
It's like a split.
Nice, because we also do this in Belgium with experts, but people don't get to join the Zoom call, so maybe it's less interactive. So I'll see how it works here, and maybe I'll get the idea for Belgium too.
Yes, it's pretty nice because most of the people were here in Zoom.
Yeah.
It's more engaging.
Yeah, you get to talk and stuff. That's better.
Yeah, in Fridays for Future Peru, actually they were doing through Zoom mainly. Like they had like 200 people.
Whoa. Wow,
yeah, but they also were through YouTube, I think, and Instagram. I'm not sure, but the main platform was Zoom.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. Good to know.
¿Queda guardado en la página de Facebook?
No,
Pablo?
Yo lo subo igual.
Sí. O sea, cuando termine va a quedar guardado.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Laura, una pregunta.
¿Dani?
Sí, señora.
Hola,
¿Vamos a tener
Dani.
traducción?
Sí, claro.
Hey, Kishona. What's up?
Hello.
I don't know if Adelaide knows, but Laura and I, we were in the Regina Maris. Like,
yeah, Adelaide knows.
Of course. Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh
my God.
We're one big family now.
Yes. We know the same boat, but we don't know each other yet. So
yeah.
You're gonna have to tell me all about your story because it's crazy. I heard from Kishona a bit, but
Yeah, it's crazy. It was just
Yeah.
1 month, but it's crazy.
Yeah, really. Oh,
Yeah,
but we had to
quite
meet
nice.
each other in real life then. We were supposed to meet soon.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we were supposed to meet like in a week
Yeah,
or something.
I
Yeah.
was supposed to organize so many things here in Belgium. Sad.
Sad.
But now we're here.
Yeah,
And
it was.
cool. That's cool. Better than nothing.
Yeah.
O Zoom por live también a Zoom.
Yeah, because we actually invited people from Self for Climate Action as well. I don't know if it's well.
Dani.
Julia is here as well.
And
Julia.
Dani Colombia.
Tenemos hasta las sillas. Dani Colombia.
Pero entonces, Dani era.
We're here.
Yeah, it was.
Cool. That's cool. Better than nothing.
Oigan, se está escuchando el audio de alguien. Oigan, bueno, Pablo, porfa, antes de comenzar, necesito que tú me colabores silenciando siempre los micrófonos que estén por ahí, porque eso
creo que era
bastante.
Pau es la encargada de eso.
Sí, Paula es,
bueno, es
la
Pau.
que tiene
Listo.
control.
Pau, ok, perfecto. Qué pena ahí. So, listo, ya son las 5, entonces empecemos. Oh, ok.
But wait,
Nice.
¿estamos live en todas las plataformas, Pablo?
Sí, ya estamos.
Ok.
Listo. Lau, introduce tú.
So we're gonna
En español,
officially...
en español.
Ok, sí, primero en español, sorry. Bueno, entonces, para los que no, como que no están muy en la misma página que nosotros, yo soy Laura Verónica Muñoz, Juan Pablo va a ser el traductor y el moderador. Los dos somos partes de Fridays for Future Bogotá y esta ha sido una dinámica que hemos estado desarrollando ya por 5 días. Hoy estamos con Adelaide Charlier, ella es de Youth for Climate, es una de las líderes del movimiento climático juvenil en Europa, más específicamente en Bélgica. Ella estuvo también en un viaje en vela de 3 meses que tenía pensado o planeado ir a la COP25 de Chile, pero como se movió a Madrid, ella fue visitando nuestro país. ¿Qué más? Bueno, yo básicamente estoy súper emocionada por esta conversación, por conocer las diferencias que hay entre Europa y Colombia y más que todo Bogotá. También porque quiero saber cómo le pareció a nuestro país, qué aprendió en nuestro país, qué aprendió también en su viaje en vela. Y también vamos a hablar un poquito del corona crisis, de la crisis del coronavirus. Bueno, entonces nosotros ya tenemos una serie de preguntas preparadas, pero si ustedes tienen, pueden escribirlas por la plataforma en la que estén. Y Paula va a estar enviándoselas por interno a Juanpa. Él va a ser el traductor, se va a hacer en español e inglés, entonces si algo queda cojo, si quieren que les expliquemos algo extra, pues nada, siéntense libres. Ahora en inglés. So, hi everybody, I'm Laura Muñoz. I'm part of Fridays for Future Bogotá. We've been doing this dynamic for 5 days now. So today we're with Adelaide Charlier from Youth for Climate. She's one of the leaders of the climate movement in Europe, more specifically in Belgium. She was also in a 3-month sailing trip that it was intended to go to the COP25 in Chile, but as it was moved, she ended up visiting our country, Colombia. Okay, so I'm really excited for this talk, for this conversation, because we're going to talk about the youth climate movement in Europe, but also like the differences that it has with Colombia or Bogotá. I also want to hear about her experience in the sailing trip and all the things that she learned here in Colombia. And we're going to talk a bit also about the corona crisis. The dynamic, it is more like a conversation or like a workshop. The moderator and the translator will be Juanpa Sierra. We've already gathered some questions, but please feel free to write them down on the chat on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whenever you are. And Paula that is one of us. She will be addressing them to Juanpa internally. And that is everything. And thank you for being here. So Juanpa, comienza.
Yeah. So, entonces vamos a empezar. La primera pregunta que yo le voy a hacer a Adelaide es, bueno, queremos saber más un poco de ella, entonces la idea es que nos comente cómo comenzó todo este camino del activismo climático y pues más o menos cuál fue el momento en el que ella decidió involucrarse en esto y cuáles fueron las razones detrás de este cambio tal vez de mentalidad, porque dedicarse al activismo climático en sí implica pues tomar una decisión en la vida bastante importante. So the first question, we want to know more about you, Adelaide. So we would like to know like mainly more about the beginning, your beginning as a climate activist. Like how was everything? Well, like where and when did it happen? And yeah, most of it, like how was this moment when you just decided to just take this life decision of being a climate activist?
So sorry, I don't speak well enough Spanish or not all Spanish to be able to speak in Spanish. But so here in Belgium, the movement started about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years. And like for me, in December 2018, there was a huge march in Brussels. So it was very symbolic. We were more than 100,000 people in the streets, which is huge for Belgium. One of the biggest marches. It was on a Sunday, and then 2 days later, so it was the COP24, and Belgium did not sign the More Ambition Pact about climate, and that was a real disappointment because Belgium was the only country that did not sign it in Europe, which is very shameful from European countries. So that was a real shock for me, a lot of citizens here. At that point, I started to understand the urgent, like how important it was for governments to also have a role and take their responsibility in this crisis. And so with a friend called Anuna, we thought we could launch marches during the week and not during a Sunday, because we had to step it over from what we did in December, which was December 2018, like I told you, it was a Sunday, and we thought, okay, we need to go to the next level. And of course, we got inspired from Greta, who had her march, well, her strikes on Fridays. And for us, it was important. Our strikes were actually on Thursdays here in Belgium, because on Thursdays, it was when all the ministers met in Brussels to answer open questions from citizens. So it was really, really important for us to be in the streets on that day. And we kept striking for 20 weeks in a row. So for 20 weeks in a row, students, thousands of students decided to not go to school in the morning, but to go to Brussels to strike. And we had about, the biggest march that we had was 40,000 people in the streets all over Belgium. And then it kept going for weeks and weeks until the elections in Belgium, but also in Europe, where we really wanted to show that we needed to change. We needed people to vote for climate and not for the system that we are in today. So it was really impressive, and we kept going, and we are well, we're still here today, like you, trying to adapt it to the crisis that we're facing today. But it's really important that we are still here and that we mainly will be there for the post-corona, because it is going to be a really hard moment for us activists, and even for people that believe that we should change the system, because it is going to be hard. People won't want that. So there's going to be a lot of work, but I really like to have those kind of calls because it makes me want to keep going.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. So, entonces, Adelaide más o menos respondió la pregunta que le hicimos, diciéndolo más o menos como en una línea de tiempo. Entonces, más o menos en el 2018, sí, hace un año o dos, ella empezó a verse involucrada en todo esto, específicamente tras un evento después de la COP24, después de la conferencia de las partes, donde se negocian temas de cambio climático a nivel global, en estos eventos que son anuales, de hecho. Después de uno de estos eventos, el país del que ella es, que es Bélgica en este caso, no firmó como un acuerdo para tener más ambición entre los diferentes países, un acuerdo que se firmó por todos los países europeos, pero bueno, Bélgica no lo firmó, entonces había mucho descontento para entonces, tanto que habían unas marchas que se realizaron con respecto a esto. La marcha más grande en la que ella participó fue aproximadamente de 100.000 personas, aproximadamente para diciembre del 2018. Pero bueno, más que todo, como que todos estos acontecimientos la llevaron a empezar a entender el rol tan importante que tenía el gobierno en este tipo de temas de cambio climático. Entonces, desde allí, con una amiga, empezó a organizar diferentes tipos de marchas para continuar la presión sobre el gobierno de ella, que como dijo anteriormente, no había firmado este pacto, por así decirlo, para tener mucha más ambición con respecto a las medidas para contrarrestar la crisis climática. Entonces, pues decidieron empezar a hacer marchas muy repetidamente todas las semanas. Ella nos comenta que más o menos hicieron marchas 20 semanas seguidas de marchas y las hacían los jueves porque los jueves, bueno, a diferencia del movimiento global que siempre propone hacerla los viernes, ellas las decidieron hacer los jueves porque en Bélgica el parlamento o el gobierno tiene un espacio abierto para participación ciudadana los jueves y era un espacio adecuado como para lograr mostrar este descontento. La marcha más grande que ellos, o la demostración más grande que ellos hicieron fue aproximadamente 40.000 personas, que es un número bastante alto para Bélgica. Entonces, pues nada, que ella nos comenta también al final que estos tipos de factores, además del hecho de que el movimiento juvenil y Greta, pues siempre ha sido una inspiración también, este tipo de hechos la llevaron a sumarse mucho más, a envolverse mucho más en esto. Em, y dice que este tipo de espacios, por ejemplo, la hace muy feliz y la hace querer continuar en el activismo porque pues le da como energía para continuar haciendo este tipo de cosas. Yes.
Y puedo
So,
agregar algo más que dijo que me parece importante,
sí,
Juanpa. Dijo
sí,
que, o sea, es
sí.
importante como que ahorita nos unamos para poder continuar después de que todo lo del corona pase, que sigamos puyando súper fuerte, de que no se nos olvide eso.
Total. So now another question we've got for you is like some sort of maybe understanding a bit more about the things you believe in regards of all these environmental and climate movement. Like we would like to know more about what are your thoughts on climate action, like what do you think about climate action, what is climate action for you, and also a bit more about a new concept that has been rising up lately, that is climate justice. And yeah, what are your thoughts as well in climate justice? So when people shout in the streets these kind of things, what is the meaning of this mainly? Yeah, for you, or you can also talk about like for the movement of Youth for Climate Action, what is this for you? Entonces, perdón, so sorry, before you answer, I have to translate it. Entonces, la siguiente pregunta que le estoy haciendo a Adelaide es, ¿cuál es la idea que ella tiene o en qué es lo que ella cree cuando hablamos de temas como la acción climática o la justicia climática, que es un tema que últimamente ha empezado a surgir de manera mucho más frecuente en las conversaciones de cambio climático y en la protesta social sobre todo? Entonces, sí, lo que yo le pregunté es, ¿cuál es como esa idea que se tiene a través de la acción climática? ¿Qué es la acción climática para ella y para su movimiento? ¿Y qué es la justicia climática para ella y para su movimiento? Yeah.
Thank you. I think for the actions, I personally think that we need all different type of actions. We need to have different kind of groups. Here in Europe, we have the Fridays for Future, but even in the world, we have also XR, who have different types of actions, but that are also very important because we need people that I see the movement of the youth as a movement that almost everyone can join, even if if they don't want to be radical, if they don't want to if they just want to see how is it going and why like they want to act but not too much. And I really think that this can be the youth movement is really wide in our different actions also. So it's really important to have different actions, but I think XR is also, they are doing an amazing job in the way they point at what we really have to look at, and they make the citizens react, and we need fear, but we also need hope. And I think it's a mixture of those both that will bring us further, because for some people it's gonna have it's huge actions like XR do more radical that will work for them to get a bit more conscious. For others, it really needs to come gently with martyrs or repetition, or from youth or from older people. So we really need to try everything to make sure we touch everyone, since this crisis touches everyone. And this is the part that is so important. At the beginning of our strikes, we were talking about climate, which is good, but actually, like you said, climate justice is so much more, and it's actually the problem. And I started to understand it slowly as my activism went through the year. But when I had the chance to get on that sailing boat to cross the Atlantic and mainly to enter the Amazon forest in Brazil, there I really understood what justice means and what human rights is, and what the consequences are of not only the consequences of climate change as like natural disasters, but also human disasters. And it's really there that you can see it. And I was in the Amazon forest for 10 days with a lot of people and with scientists, and I made a lot of friends from there, which was really good. And it was also a happy moment, but a very hard moment for me too, because we were such in a beautiful place, but at the same time listening to horrible stories, listening to the fact that the only hope was maybe for the outside world to react on how it was working in Brazil. But also in Colombia, you have a part of the Amazon forest, and I haven't been there, but I don't think it's better than, maybe it's better than Brazil, but I don't know, because I can't speak for Colombia. But from what I've seen in Brazil, it's too intense, and we understood that where the forest was where the people were. So if we want to protect the forest, we need to protect the people that live in the forest. They are the ones who guard it. They are the ones who know how it works and that respect it. So I think there is just a huge link in saying we want to protect the forest, of course, because it's the lung of our earth. It's the way we need to keep biodiversity. But let's just make sure that this means that we keep the people in the forests, because it's also their place, their land. And I saw a huge paradox when I was inside the forest.
Oh, we lost you. We lost you for a moment.
Sorry?
Sorry, we lost you for a moment when you were about to say about the paradox. Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, sorry. So I saw a hydraulic dam that, thanks to the water, was creating energy, and so it can be called green energy since it is made from natural resources. But the
Shit.
A huge amount of forest, but also, can you still hear me?
Yeah, we didn't listen after you said this clean energy.
Sorry, my Wi-Fi is not so good, maybe. So it's just,
sorry.
It is called. They are selling it as green energy, but the problem is that those dams are destroying the forest
Yeah.
and also the places of people.
Perfect. Yeah. Anything else like for?
I think that's already a lot for you to translate.
Yeah, that was good. Entonces, bueno, Adelaide nos estaba mencionando un poco sobre, bueno, cómo ha sido, cómo a partir de la experiencia que haya tenido en el movimiento y pues sobre todo en temas de acción climática la ha llevado a, pues a tener una noción mucho más clara sobre todo este tipo de temas de cuál debería ser la acción climática. Ella empezó más o menos hablando sobre la necesidad de tener diferentes tipos de acciones y diferentes grupos que toman acción cuando hablamos del movimiento climático a nivel global. Grupos como por ejemplo los que hoy existen, como Fridays for Future, como Extinction Rebellion, o bueno, una gran cantidad de otro tipo de grupos que hay, porque esa diversidad permite que cualquier tipo de persona se pueda unir a la causa. Hay personas que son más radicales, hay personas que no son tan radicales tal vez, hay personas que quieren estar muy comprometidas 100%, hay personas que tal vez quieren estar de vez en cuando comprometidas con esto y bueno, tal vez no tan involucradas y muchos tipos de acciones e ideas, porque eso permite que cada vez más personas